Cheers, dear.
Cheers.
Number 22 of right now. I almost said Goulet Q&A right then. Almost. Just said it. Just riding that bike, you know?
It is Monday morning. So fun story this morning. I didn't tell you this yet.
Oh boy, okay.
No, it's
I
not.
like fun stories. No, go ahead.
It's not that big a deal. Don't make
Okay,
it a
I'm
big thing.
so amped right now. Just go for it.
You know, so we have 2 kids, 8 and 6. Our 8-year-old, our son Joseph, he was getting dressed. And, you know, we're all dragging our feet this morning. Like, we're all really tired. It's just,
everything's a time change. Like, it's
well,
darker in the
cloudy
morning, and yeah.
Anyway, so I go in. He's finally gets dressed. I'm like, I check. I'm like, hey bud, your shirt's on backwards, and he's like, mornings, am I right? I was like, yeah.
Wow.
Monday mornings like Garfield.
You can tell he reads Garfield, yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, then, yeah.
It sounds like a line out of a Garfield comic book, doesn't
like
it?
every other punchline, yeah.
Joseph's like super into Garfield. He got a bunch of my old, and your sister was really into Garfield.
Well,
I think I inherited a lot of her books.
You had like 20 of those books.
I had a lot of Garfield books.
Yeah.
At least 20.
And now it's
20,
on
more closer
Hulu.
to 30.
You can binge watch the from the 90s,
Oh, yeah.
the Garfield and Friends.
They're like super into all the like 90s kids shows that we watch.
It's probably intentional, the mass marketing. They know that people like us have kids, and they know that we were super into stuff. So like My Little Pony and Ninja Turtles and Mario, all the things that are coming back.
But they've remade versions of these shows. They don't watch the remade versions.
That's
they watch
true.
the original
They're the best
ones.
All right, we are here to talk pens.
We are here to talk about pens. Really,
you have a lot of blue pens out here right now.
Well, that's because it's from my personal collection.
Well, it's like
and that's
this
just what I
is
gravitate
the one that
to.
isn't, but that's the one I grabbed off the shelf.
Well, yeah. So I want to talk a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about Pelikan because we just got in the M120 Iconic Blue, which was a new style of Pelikan that I'd honestly never held one before. So I thought I would show this a little bit. It's basically like a rounded off version of a M200.
Yeah, there was a green black version of this back in 2016. We didn't carry it at the time.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, we just didn't.
It just wasn't super like asked about. We weren't really aware of it.
They don't do this model that often.
They don't. It's not like a regularly offered thing.
But it was blue.
Uh-huh. And I wanted to, and it's blue, yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay, I'm a little into that. So really we carried it because we had some people asking, and I was like, well, I kind of want one. So it's really similar to the M200, and actually, from what I can tell, the design is a little bit different.
Right.
On the
M120
so it's got some extra squiggles.
Yeah, it said it was modeled after a Pelikan Pricer from like the late 1800s or something crazy.
Well, there you go. So the design is kind of interesting, kind of neat. But yes, otherwise the nib is exactly the same. And
this
you
is
can
very much a vintage throwback pen.
It is,
here.
and actually it's got nib units that you can unscrew, and you can actually swap it. If you have an M200, it's pretty easy. You can just switch swap.
We don't sell those available separately.
We don't. I mean, Pelikan does offer it sort of. We've had a tough time like carrying them regularly, but there you go, swapped. So that's pretty easy.
Make sure you switch them back.
I will, yeah. Well, they're both my pens, I don't care. But nice, easy to kind of maintain.
I like this ink window.
Yeah, the ink window is really nice. That's actually my favorite part of the whole thing.
Does that help?
Yep.
Yeah, I know things.
You do know things. You learn camera tricks.
Let me see if I. Oh,
but it's a piston. The piston actually operates really smooth.
I was going to say, let's watch the piston.
It's a super light pen.
There it is.
In fact, I actually have another pen.
Ooh. And that's how you fill with ink. Ideally with a nib on it.
I have a blue demonstrator. M200 as well. And I was just going to say, like, how close is that? Okay, it's a little slightly different color blue.
This has a tinge of teal to it.
It really does.
Like a tinge of green.
I mean, this blue is pretty, I don't know, how do you describe this blue? It's like a pale blue.
Generic.
Generic blue? This doesn't sound super great, dear.
Well.
But anyway, it just gives you an idea of the color. I thought, like, oh, maybe the ink window's the same.
Versus, like,
slightly different.
Vibrant blue.
Now that is rockin'.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got several different blue pens, and I just thought, like, for size reasons, we may want to compare, like, the M120. Sorry, let me get the nib back on here. It's bothering me a little bit.
It is. It's bothering me too. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's get the cap back on. I wanted to show just all of them, and maybe we can just, like, lay them out for a second. Because I got M120.
Wait, we got to put this nib back on this 200
No, here, it's all right. I got another 200 right here.
Oh.
So there's an M120 versus M200. Very, very similar in size, right? It's really just the roundedness and the iconicness of that.
M400.
Yeah.
Which, this is when you start getting into the gold nib. So these have a steel nib. This has a gold nib.
And
the 14 karat gold
it's
nib.
It's really similar in size to the M200. Pretty much the difference between the 200 and the 400 is the gold nib.
Then you get to the
600,
which is
slightly
my
bigger.
personal favorite size. Also still has the 14 karat nib.
Yep.
That's a great size. You guys know me. I love that broad.
And then the 800, of course, got to bust this out. I bought both of them because
now,
the two 800s I have look freaking awesome.
Does the 800, I cannot remember, is it 14 karat nib or 18 karat nib? Does it jump up at that point?
It's 18 karat.
I know the M1000 has an 18 karat.
18 karat.
Okay. So when you go from...
Well, we're gonna show the nibs too, because we got to show them.
Steel nib on the 200 and the M120, 14 karat nib on the M400 and the M600, and 18 karat nib on the M800, and you do not have an M1000.
I don't, Rachel.
That is... My money too, Brian. My money
nice
too.
That you note that. I do not have an M1000.
It would be for educational purposes.
I've used M1000s, and they are
Tell you what,
pretty awesome.
When the next special edition comes out that has your eye, we will talk about it.
Okay. We'll talk about it. I like talking.
I know you do.
When I talk about pens with you, good things happen.
Okay.
So there you go. So that gives you some idea. Sorry, I got to turn this just a little bit. There you go, just so you can see. So going from M120, M200, you can see the nibs there are basically identical. Is that helping? And then M400 nib is the same size, but it turns into gold. Rumpelstiltskin
style. It's not all shadowy.
You know.
Oh, it's fine. We're trying.
And then M600 nib gets a little bit bigger. M800 nib gets a little bit bigger. And then the M1000, the nib would be like the size of my hand.
It's not the size of your hand.
It's pretty big.
You're ridiculous.
We'll just have to get one and find out. So that's for the people, of course.
Education.
Yeah. So anyway, just thought we'd do that because we get all kinds of questions about Pelikan.
Yeah, so this is a special edition, which means it won't be around forever.
No.
It's really hard to know how long it'll last. It could be this month. It could be around in 6 months.
I don't know. Usually their special pens don't last forever.
Some of them do. Like this M400 Tortoise, we still have some.
That's
that came
true.
out last
That's
year.
true. They did a lot more of
But
those.
some of the M600s, like when that turquoise comes in, it's going to be gone.
Oh, yeah. I think that one's going to last. Like
not
no
long.
Time. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so that's exciting. We also have this other blue pen here, Brian. What is
this? We do. Hey, this is not a Pelikan, but the reason I just got this one out is because well, I just love it, and we had
similar nib size.
We had John Lane from Pilot here on Friday, and we showed him this pen because it's an exclusive, and we always like to show people like what we have going on. And he was really taken by the color. So.
Well, yeah, we were talking like future Pilot pen designs. I was like, you gotta do sparkles. I'm like, sparkles?
He was like, sparkles, really? And we were this is what we're talking about. He was like, that's better than what I was picturing. Sparkles. So I don't know, just
and showed the Jinhao, X750 shimmering sands,
which got way sparklier than what I remember.
You need to replace yours. The one you have is like not as good. The ones on the shelf currently are. They got legit sparkles.
I mean, I had
not like a shimmery dust of sparkles, like chunky sparkles.
I guess I hadn't looked at it in a little while.
Is that yours?
Like, this is the new one I just grabbed off the shelf. So this is mine now.
In the right light, you can really see the color. Sometimes it looks like from my angle right now, it looks just silver. But other angles, you get the light on it, you see just a rainbow colors.
So glittery though. Like the one I had was black with some glitter in it.
We call this the poor man's Rodden.
Yeah. In fact, I gave that one away, so I don't even have it anymore. But this is the new one.
Wow, we're showing it. We're showing all kinds of weirdness.
Look how glittery that is. And we're like all over the price range on this show today too.
I know.
It's like, here's, a $200 pen all the way up through an $800 pen. And now here's a $10 pen. I love it. But I love that I can get just as excited about a $10 pen as I can. But okay, maybe not just as excited, but I can get excited about a $10 pen not just as, what am I trying to say? I need a coffee.
Sparkles.
Sparkles. Indeed. I like the sparkles. So yeah, that's about all I got.
You want to talk about it?
That's literally the only thing I had planned this morning. We can talk about the thing. I don't have any packaging though, so this is interesting. So this one was a pre-production sample. So they're limited edition and all numbered, but if you notice, mine has no number
you are correct.
on it. So I have an unnumbered
super special
Visconti Opera Master Luna, which is pretty cool. I feel pretty special about that.
Yeah, we do have a full video on this, right?
We have not done like a full detailed video on it.
Brian Goulet.
Andy? Help me out.
Just adding in more to my list.
And he's got like 8 things
there
going on right now.
There are some good YouTube video reviews out there. I just watched one yesterday. That was fantastic.
Yeah. Penboy Roy's on it.
That's the one I watched.
Yeah, Visconti Dave shows it all the time on Instagram. there's definitely some love out there.
So we made 188, and we still have a good number left.
We do. So. Yeah, we knew they would last a while. I mean, it's an expensive pen, and we didn't want to limit the material to. I mean, we could have made fewer, but we wanted them to be around for a bit.
Which do you like better, Brian?
Oh my gosh. I mean, the Luna, no question. I mean, I really do. Okay, so as like a carry around everyday writer.
Choose.
No. As a carry around everyday writer, the M800 is a little more practical for me.
I mean, look at that size difference.
I mean, it's a heavy pen. Like it's 60 grams. It's pretty like unwieldy to carry around like in your shirt pocket. But as a desk pen, it's phenomenal. And the wetness of like the medium nib or a broad nib on that thing is just awesome.
Yeah, it's a bit heavy for my taste.
It is
even
hefty,
the M800,
but the material is just
M800
fantastic.
is a little big for me. Again, love that
but
600 size.
The material, I just love it, and the
it's
blue,
the blue and the sparkles.
I love it. But I mean, this is probably my favorite Pelikan that's come out.
The Ocean Swirl.
Yeah,
and they are going fast. Like they're done out of Germany, and I think the U.S. distributor. We don't have any more coming in from the U.S. distributor. So what we have on the site is
I think we only have a couple left, honestly.
So if you want it.
So we're not plugging it to try to sell it. They're gonna sell. No, you know, just
if you've been on the fence, I'm just letting you know they are going fast.
I like the vibrant blue, but I think I like the blue.
I can't wait to see the new M600 turquoise. That one's
gonna be hot.
Will be in my collection.
That one's gonna be hot.
And abroad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm debating if I should have one of those.
Also.
I don't know. I don't have any white. I mean, I got a pretty you
can have white
standard
for
looking.
Me.
You know,
we don't each need to have
That's
one.
true. That's true. And the 600's good, but I don't love it.
I do.
I like the 800. The 800 is my size.
Look at have we done this hand size comparison?
Not in a while. So just get an idea of like the hand comparison there. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Let's talk about like large hands, big hands, or
yeah.
Yep. There
anyway,
you go.
That's it for Monday morning.
I'm having my tea.
Yeah, enjoy.
Right on.
Right on.